Good evening. Good evening, everybody. This is Citizen Live. It's Big Morgan there. He's already made a comment about it being another Monday. Well, time flies. We know it does fly. So, yes, unfortunately, it follows Sunday and Tuesday. And then before you know it, it'll be Christmas. Yes, be happy days. Right, we're going to talk Cherries today. We're going to talk perhaps Bernardo. I've not heard anything today. Have you guys, if anyone's heard anything about Bernardo today? It didn't look very good yesterday, did it, from what we saw? But I've not been on Twitter for about 3 hours, so it could have all kicked off by now. I don't know. I'll have to rely on you guys. And I've just been looking at the league table, made sure we're still top. That'll do for me. Still top of the table after 2 games. Poor old Arsenal. I mean, we can't, only second. Yeah, great start for them. They're only second. They should be. And Brentford, about Brentford. Should we talk about Brentford United, those ratings of the United players? That was quite funny, reading those the other day. And, yes, while we wait for people to comment, it's the floor is open, whatever you want to comment about. Bernardo's not welcome at my house anymore. Why is that, Big Morgan? What's he done to you? He just wants nice weather. He's a not what's the word for Portuguese and Spanish? There's a name for the combined, like that peninsula, isn't there? He's just one of those guys and wants to go home. And he's done good things for us, so we shouldn't stand in his way. What I'm worried about is how much we'll let him go for. That's what's worrying me, Big Morgan. How much are we going to get for Bernardo? I was doing a little thing with Ray, and he reckons we'll let him go for £60 million. No, probably not, Big Morgan. But if he's not happy, what does he do? If he's not happy in himself, what can he do? If he's signed a new contract, so he should really be happy, shouldn't he? But we all know that's a ploy by agents as well to boost fees, etc. So I don't know if it's not loyalty, of course it's not, but he's obviously unhappy. So if he's unhappy, what can we do? Vicky, how are you? Old school Haaland girl here again. Well, it says, how did you go on at the weekend, Vicky? How did you boys go on? Did you play? We're just discussing Bernardo, Vicky, and Big Morgan thinks he's got no loyalty, which I agree to some extent. But how many years has he been with us? I can't remember now. Is it 4, 5? Let him go. Well, yeah, he's not gone yet, though, has he? And as I say, would you let him go for 60 million? Would you say that's a fair price for Bernardo? He's got to be worth 80 million, surely. If Sterling and Jesus are going 50 million around that region. Cucurella's going for 60 million. Surely Bernardo's got to be 80 million of anyone's money, of the Queen's pounds, isn't it? Or the European euros, whichever it is. 60 million and Pedri. Who's Pedri, Big Morgan? Is he tell me about Pedri, mate. I'm not too well up on European players unless we're coming up to play a team that's involves us. Tell me all about Pedri, Big Morgan. And what position is he? Does he carry the ball like Bernardo? I was asked yesterday who could replace Bernardo. So well, nobody can replace Bernardo. He's just unique in what he does, because he can be offensive, he's defensive, and Pep uses him as not a hod carrier. He uses him as a ball carrier, doesn't he? He's the guy who can pick it up on the 18-yard box and move up and try and create things, and mainly keep hold of the ball. But he very rarely loses it. It sticks to his boot like his old bubble gum. So what position does he play, Big Morgan, this Pedri? Is he a midfielder? Vicky, all good here, thanks. 7 Oaks won their first match this season. Was so hot on Saturday, went up to 34 at one. But yeah, well, it was hot, certainly hot at the Etihad. I mean, I was roasting. There was like the glass. We're in the first row, and even though the stand was over us, it's glass. So the sun was. It was like we were like ants under a mic, under one of those magnifying glasses when your kids. I know Vicky wouldn't do anything so cruel, but us lads might have done something similar. It was like that with the glass from the roof. Blackpool, hello Blackpool. How are you all right, mate? Made it tonight. Love the night. Yeah, well, Actually, stripes are supposed to make you look thinner, but I don't think so. I always think I look a bit tubby in this, but someone told me that was rubbish anyway. That stripes don't make you look thinner, so I don't think they're working for me anyway. And it's warm, but it's not too warm tonight. I think if it had been last night, I wouldn't have been able to put it on. It'd be too hot. Midfield number 8, yeah. Well, if Bernardo does go, unless someone like, well, McAtee's gone, isn't he? He's gone on loan, so it's only Palmer, and he's got a problem injury-wise, hasn't he? That's his problem. Big Morgan, I'm being asked whether I can show this message you've just given, and I will say, yeah, why not? Let's show it. Listen, I go away in 3 weeks. I go away in 2.5 weeks' time. So there's no point in me trying to behave till then. So I may as well just go with the flow, mate. Yeah, I had my Aguero t-shirt on for the game on Sunday because the material of the new kits, I just don't like the feel of the material. It's a bit hot to wear them, I thought. It is, Vicky, till weekend. Then it's supposed to get nice again, but we're supposed to have rain all this week. It's cloudy here now. How's it down your place? It was sunny this morning, but it's cloudy now. Yeah, before I went back to working at Asda, I used to speed walk 4 or 5 times a week, Big Morgan. So I lost quite a bit of weight because obviously, it's I used to do like 6 miles in say hour and 20 minutes or something like that, which isn't bad going. So, and I used to do that 3 or 4 times a week. But when I went back to Asda and did this home shop thing, even though I walk about 12 kilometers a day, it's not the pace, so I'm not really burning it off, and I'm eating earlier as well because I'm in work early. I never used to eat till lunchtime, but now I'm eating from 6 o'clock in the morning because I'm in work at 3 o'clock. Getting cloudy here now, but was hot during the day. Yeah, it's bound to, Vicky. It's gonna do. Need more than stripes to make me look thinner. Sat on my exercise bike. How many miles can you do, Blackpool? How many miles on your exercise bike? I remember Ray doing that thing on his exercise bike, trying to do the Tour de France, was it? Something silly like that for charity. I used to like cycling. I used to cycle when I was younger, but I've gone off it a little bit. Penny farthing, I think, when I started cycling. Ray's pretty fit. Oh, I'll tell him you fancy him, Big Morgan. I'll pass it on for you, mate. Don't you worry. I think he's always moaning he's got too much weight. Good evening, Lassie Elbler. How are you? Right, shall we? What are our thoughts about the 4 or 5 was on? What are our thoughts about the Cherries? Was it a good victory? Should we have put them more to the sword, or considering the conditions, was that about right? Just take it easy. Don't go too mad. We don't want people dying of sunstroke and. I was going to say hypothermia then, but it's not hypothermia, is it? That's for sure. Only man I fancy is KDB, Big Morgan. Well, I can have a word with KDB if you want. I'll see how he's fixed. I think his wife might have something to say, and his kids, but there you go. Yeah, remember Ray doing that. It's more minutes than miles for me. Yeah, absolutely, Blackpool. Lassie Blue, I'm worried about Foden. In what way, Lassie Blue? Are you worried that he's fell out with Pep, or he's not fit? I thought he looked a bit tired at half time. I thought he struggled to cope with the sun actually on with the heat on Sunday. That's just my opinion. It's a good result considering the heat. It wasn't, Vicky. It's outstanding. I mean, we can credit City, credit all the teams because they all played in similar circumstances. Even to play cricket in that weather, it would be hard. But so, all right, they have the drinks break and all this sort of thing. And they got 5 substitutes, which is very useful, of course. Pep doing half-time substitutions, as I say, was that because that's to do with Foden, isn't it? But I think all the football teams who played at weekend, all credit to them, all credit to the players of every team. Well, apart from United, they can get lost, but because they didn't put much effort in anyway. But yeah, I mean, all the teams deserve full credit. I watched some of it, Big Morgan. Yeah, I sort of give up. I was on a dodgy stream, so Big Morgan, not sexually. Yeah, all right, mate. I understand, mate. Don't worry. Yeah, did you enjoy the full? Obviously, I wouldn't have minded watching the last 10 minutes. I turned it off about 92 minutes. I just give up on 92 minutes. Brentford did really well too. Well, yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I play for Sunday teams that could play the ball out from the back better than United can. They're so wooden. I mean, that's just, they just looked as though, it's better just for De Gea just to boot it up the pitch because they're just useless, absolutely useless at playing it out from the back. They're shambles. God help them against Liverpool on Monday. It'll be an absolute slaughterhouse if the weather eases off as well. Last year, I hope that Pep isn't going to freezing fill out for a while. Yeah, I mean, I'm like that, whether to put him in the Newcastle team, Phil Foden, after what happened. In fairness, and I thought he was lucky with the goal. I thought the goalie had saved it at one stage, but obviously it fell in. But that earlier pass he didn't make, Pep wasn't impressed. But hey guys, do you really think Pep took him off because he was angry with him, or rather that something was up with Phil Foden? What do you think, guys? I mean, I think Phil Foden was suffering the heat as well. Blackpool felt sorry for the fans in the north stand. Some was on the well, Blackpool on we're in the south stand because it's got a glass thing. It was beaming down. I mean, I got away with it. I haven't got any cover, but it was boiling Blackpool even in the south stand because of that. If it had been a proper roof and it covered, it blocked out the sun, but it didn't. It was like a magnifying glass. So I felt like an ant under the magnifying glass when you're kids. Give us a like, guys. I've only got 1 like up there. Come on, there's 5 of you on. We've got to have more than 1 like. Come on. Pep was fed up with Foden. What do you think, Big Morgan? Yeah. Chelsea, Chelsea should have won. Sterling was Sterling, was it? Oh, well, I wouldn't have minded watch. I saw glimpses. I didn't see much of Sterling in action, Big Morgan. Did he miss a couple of sitters? Did he fall over at the wrong time? Oh, thanks, guys. 4 likes. Love you. Well done. I've been watching Gabby with pride, but obviously Sterling, I've not really watched him for play yet for Chelsea. Vicky, the United third kit is disgusting. On Match of the Night, guy said Marc at bedtime. I can think of a few names for it. Well, it didn't work, did it? It didn't work. It'll be one of those kits that, like the old time that Southampton where they had to change the shirts at half time because they couldn't see each other. I don't think they could use that excuse for that kit, could they? I don't think they could say they couldn't see each other in that kit. In all fairness, I don't like the collar, Big Morgan, guys. I mean, that collar on that. I'm not a big fan of collars anyway, but I mean, what's all that about? I mean, I don't like it. I know it's probably retro, but it's a retro of it just looks horrible to me. It looks as though it's around a cake decoration, like a Christmas cake, and they have a decoration, little fringe around it. It looks like one of them. The grey kit, yeah. I mean, the best one they got is that one that's like sort of light blue, but that was last year, wasn't it? And I don't think the sponsors add to it either. I think the sponsors they have make it look a bit grotty to me. They always pick these sponsors that make it look cheap. Chevrolet, I mean, to me, it just looks cheap. It just looks rubbishy. I mean, all right, Etihad's not fantastic, but it looks a bit more classy, a bit simpler. And just the Chevrolet just doesn't work for me. I mean, terrible. No, I like it, Big Morgan. I love the third kit. I do love all the 3 kits this season. I must admit, I do like them all. And well, yeah, love's too strong a word. I do like them all. Yes, and I think they've done very, very well this season. And I will have the third kit at some stage. I'm just waiting for it, but I won't say where I got it from because yes, Vicky, Chelsea's own kit has a weird colour, looks like a dishcloth. Yeah, I'm just going to get it up on my phone now, Vicky, just have a quick remind myself what the kit's like. Chelsea, 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 Chelsea. All we got is a picture of Harry Kane. I wonder why. 96 minutes, wasn't it? Well, that's not good, is it? Come on, where's the Chelsea? All I can see is bloody Tottenham kits. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I know what you're saying. There's only so much you can do with the Chelsea kit, though, isn't there? Puma, isn't it? It's like Nike, isn't it, though? It's Nike like we used to be, of course. And Nike don't have a very good idea, do they? The Tottenham one's a bit boring, I think. Tottenham kit, that's a bit boring. May demise of the rag continues. May the demise of the rag. Well, Lassiel Blur. I mean, can you honestly, as I was saying before, I think before he came on, I've played for Sunday League teams who can play the ball out and pass the ball better than they can out from the back. I mean, De Gea may as well. I mean, that mistake he made anyway. He had a great season last season, but is he going to go back to where he was dropping clangers all the time? I hope so, because that'll be great. But obviously, you may as well just punt it upfield because, try and find Ronaldo, because I'm sorry, they have no idea how to play out from the back. You can just tell. You watch teams like Brighton doing it, and obviously, I mean, Brighton is very good at it. I was really impressed last season when I went to watch at their place. And they almost matched City for the quality of playing out from the back. I thought Brighton were excellent. But United, they looked, I was saying before, they all look wooden, as though they got wooden legs, and they didn't know how to play it out properly. And, it's all hesitance, a lot of hesitancy in it. And, yeah, I mean, they're going to get beat by Liverpool, aren't they? They're not going to beat Liverpool. So that's 3 games, no points. I wonder who else have they got. Let's have a look who they got coming up. Man United, who have they got? Let's have a look. Liverpool, well, we know that, don't we? Then he got Southampton away. They've been playing all right. Southampton away, 27th of August. Then they've got Leicester City away. So they've got 2 away games. We got 2 home games, haven't we, guys? We've got Palace and Forest, have we? Then they're at home to Arsenal. And then away to Crystal Palace. When are they going to get some points? I don't know when they're going to get some points. They're going to get beat by Liverpool. They might get a draw at Southampton if they're lucky. They might get a draw at Leicester. I think Leicester are going to fall off a cliff. They're at home to Arsenal. Wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal beat them at home. They're away to Crystal Palace. Again, a draw at best. And then they're at home to Leeds. All right, that might be the first win of the season. That's on the 18th of September, guys. They play Leeds United. So, yeah, could be interesting. But at the end of the day, as long as we're winning, I don't. Who's your man of the match, guys, for the last game, Bournemouth game? Who would you say? I think there's only one guy wasn't the man of the match. Brighton have the best. I tell you what, Blackpool, I'd have Potter as definitely as England man. I'm not bothered about England; they don't really worry me. But I'd have him as England manager, and he could do a job at what? Someone like who's tempting? Who needs a change? Leicester. Get rid of Brendan Rodgers. He'd do a lot worse and put Potter in, wouldn't he? Yeah, KDB, Big Morgan, my man of the match against the Cherries, Bournemouth. Yeah, Potter, I mean, yeah, I think he's a great manager. I think he'd do well for England if he's not really ready for that, or the FA aren't bothered, which they don't. Pretty useless, aren't they, guys? Yeah, I mean, who would you see him at? Leicester City, because I think Brendan Rodgers has done as much as he can with Leicester City. West Ham, has David Moyes done as much as he can with West Ham? They've not started that well this season, have they? That's for sure. 2 defeats. Forest are all right, but they're not that good. I know West Ham had a few chances, but yeah. So I could see Potter going to West Ham. Leicester. Could even see him going abroad, you know. I mean, why not some foreign team want him? Hope they get a point. Well, I hope they do, Blackpool, but can you see it? Can you see him getting a point against Liverpool? I know it's, what was it last year? 5-0? 5-0 or something. Moyes back to United. That's a pretty good shout, Big Morgan. What do you think, guys? But Moyes back to United. Do you see that happening? He's still under contract, though, Big Morgan. He's still got a contract, I think. So he can go back there. I mean, the Poundland Pep isn't doing very well, is he, Mr. 10 Bob? He's not doing too good, is he? He's may as well like a 10 Bob joke, and never mind Ten Hag. I mean, he's absolutely rubbish. But yeah, I mean, they got rid of Moyes far too early, Big Morgan. I mean, but didn't Fergie? Isn't he helping out now again? Hasn't he come back in as like to assist? Isn't that what I heard last time? Has he come back to assist him? Any news on Bernardo today, guys? Has he gone? Is there any more hints? He's over in Spain at the moment, I believe. He was getting a plane yesterday there. Does anyone know anything about Bernardo? What do we think about him? I've had a couple of guys comment on him. On another channel, they were saying he's going to go for about 60 million quid for Bernardo because it's Barcelona. I mean, they can't even rub together 60 quid, can they, at the moment? I don't understand where they're going to get the money from. And we've been offered, is it Pedri? Pedri, you said earlier on, mate. Pedri, about would you take De Jong? Old Frankie De Jong. Big Morgan, like his centre half he brought from Ajax, he's short of ideas. I think a lot of these Dutch players, Big Morgan, I don't think they translate a lot of them. I know some of them will, but I just don't think they translate to the English Premier League. And certainly United have a habit of picking them up, and they're the next best thing since sliced bread, and they turn out to be absolute rubbish. So. Yeah, I don't think the Dutch league lends itself to our league so much. That's my feelings, guys. As I said, I'm not a big watcher of European football apart from my own. So that's the sort of thing I'm looking at from players wise. Obviously, Spanish players do well. We know that. Portuguese players do well, but not Dutch players. United will give this guy a year. Well, they're not going to sack him yet, Big Morgan, are they? They're not going to sack him now, not at this point in time, that's for sure. They're not going to give him the chop this early, surely. He could walk. He could give up on it and walk out and say, this is rubbish, this. I'm not getting the support I need. I mean, obviously, they've not brought anyone in of note, have they? Blackpool Blu-ray. Remember that playing going over also requesting the sacking of Moyes. Were you behind that one, Blackpool? We had some good planes at Old Trafford. I mean, some good planes flying over it over the last few seasons. There's been a few little comments, hasn't there? I mean, been a couple over the Etihad, but I never figured out what they're saying. Who do you think we're going to get when Pep goes at the end of this season, guys? My theory: he'll have a year sabbatical, leave his coaching staff there to take over for next season, run the risk of not winning too much, and he'll have a sabbatical for a year and come back and sign another 5-year contract. Does that sound all right? Would we suffer a year without him? Or are we fed up with him? Are we fed up with him? Do we want him to go? Do we want a change? Do we want David Moyes in charge, or Brendan Rodgers, or Potter? Why not Potter for City? Potter for City, not the Phoenix Knights Potter, although he could perhaps go to United and do a job. Remember the playing Luis Enrique, Big Morgan. Luis Enrique. Let's find out a bit about Luis Enrique. This is a manager, isn't it? Is this a Spanish manager? Yeah, it is. It's a Spanish manager, isn't it, mate? Yeah, I mean, that was hinted at last season, wasn't it? That he would be lined up for it. I mean, who did he manage before he went to Spain? Barcelona B, Roma, Celta, Barcelona, and then Spain. Yeah, I mean, good shout. Good shout. I mean, is he mates of Pep's? Is he? Could it be done? No, not David Moyes. No, Vicky, you're all right. Don't panic. We're not thinking David Moyes. We're thinking David Moyes back to United. That's what we're thinking. That's the elbow. Pep isn't going anywhere. What is the reason you said that, Ben? I don't know. I watch body language and I look for things, and I'm hoping he won't. I had my Pep watch about 3 seasons ago, guys. You might not have done or know me then or followed me, and obviously he re-signed his contract. It was all okay, but it's just a stage he was going through, and I think he's happy. He's got. I think the best thing about this season is he's having to change tactics, isn't he? He's having to mess around, so it's keeping him fresh, his mind fresh, trying to get the inverted defenders and all this sort of thing. And I'm dead chuffed Walker's playing a slightly different role, because I think he's useless bombing down the right anyway, because he never assists or creates too much. So if he has to come inside and do things, I'm quite happy with that with Walker. I don't know what you guys think. But yeah, last year, it's only a feeling, mate. I mean, it could all be okay, but I don't know. It's just I would say a 20% feeling that he might be on his way. That could grow. But at the moment, he seems to be saying all the right things about the fans. And again, you could say that as a positive. You could say that as a negative if he's saying the right things. Is he prepared in the same way Bernardo? Everyone jumped on that tweet he did about thanking everyone. Pep's certainly last season and certainly the start of this season, he's thanking the fans a lot. And now, why is he thanking the fans a lot all of the season? Is he now realised what it's like being a City manager? Has he now realised what it's like, what it means being a City manager? The stick we get from the media is that am I reading too much into it? These are all little things, last year, Blue, that I'd love to know what you guys think. That just make me think there's something there, and he's not signed his contract yet, and he's willing to wait till Christmas. He's willing to wait to the end of the season. Whatever happens, I think City have got something lined up. I don't doubt in my mind if he said behind the scenes that he may be going, that City have it. I think we've come too far and we've invested too much money to start making absolute balls up like United are doing year in, year out. So I'm not worried. But yeah, just let me know what you think, guys. I'm just sort of talking top of my head. That's what this is about, just everyone's opinion. Your boss at Asda would probably do a better job at Old Trafford. I doubt it, Blackpool. He's not very good. I do comment. I mean, I do look at people and think, I've employed a lot of people in my time over the years, and I look at some of the people there, and I thought I wouldn't pay them in washers, that are in management positions, section leaders, absolutely useless. Walker would be me, yeah. I think we realised last year, didn't we? I mean, Walker's attribute is his pace. Of course, it is. When he got sent off in that silly game against Leipzig, it's a sort of crucial time, a crucial game or two he missed, and then obviously he got injured, picked up a bit of an injury, and you just realise how much you do miss Walker. He's not perfect by any means, but I love Walker. But as a defensive Walker, I'm not too hot on the offensive Walker. I don't think he's for me. He's just he plays. I don't know how many assists he's made in his career. I wouldn't have thought many. And this lad Gomez, I think, was seeing some stats on him about his assists. Was it 6 goals and 15 assists or something like that for this Gomez, guys? Have you seen anything on him? This new lad, 15 assists. I mean, that's what we want. That's the sort of thing that idiot Mendy was supposed to bring, wasn't it? That sort of level of assist from a left back position. Big Morgan Walker with missiles, yeah. Blackpool, did you notice Rico Lewis putting a full 90 minutes for the year Sunday and had 2 assists? Oh, that's fantastic, Rico. He didn't get a lot of chance to do much in his 10 minutes, did he? But that's brilliant. Well, he's done that before, Pep, hasn't he? He's played a guy, you know, for, I think it's Cole Palmer, was it? He played him for like 10 minutes and then he played in the EDS the same night or something like that, didn't he? And scored 2 or 3 goals. So, yeah, Rico, it's only little though, isn't it? Did any of you guys watch that thing on Crystal Palace the other night about the academy, Crystal Palace Academy, the young lads there? That was an interesting. I was going to do a review on it, but obviously there's another 3 episodes, isn't there? So, yeah, that was interesting. Any of you guys saw it on Crystal Palace? That was interesting because there's a couple of the lads there were small for their age and a couple of the lads were big for their age, and it was just how they were getting on in the academy, under 12s or whatever, under 13s, stuff like that. So I thought it was a very good program, although it's Palace, and we had to look at that idiot who runs. I don't like the Palace guy, the guy who's in charge. I don't like him too much. Whatever happened to Ben Mendy? Well, he's pleaded not guilty, Big Morgan, so it's obviously going to run that, isn't it? It's so weird to see Walker. Yeah, but I like him there, Lascelles Blue. As I said, I like him being there. As long as he's there to run back, if we, you know, got his pace at the back, that's fine. As long as we've got that, then I'm happy. But I do. But as I said, we're saying about Pep, it gives him Pep the opportunity to change things about, doesn't it? And other teams now, and I think they said it, haven't they? Scott Parker said it. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to sort of combat City's new tactics. And I think Moyes said it. Moyes said it after the first game. And Pep's worked really hard to bring in new tactics to allow for Haaland and Alvarez and change things about. Ben Mendy's caught at the moment, Big Morgan. Yeah, I think he pleaded not guilty, didn't he? I've not really seen much about that. I might do a little bit of a special on him one day if it sort of gets a bit. Although we've got enough with Ryan Giggs, guys, haven't we? I've not really read much about that. All right, here we go. Big Morgan, him and Giggs could be cellmates, God willing. Yeah, Cole Palmer, Blackpool. Yeah, it was Cole Palmer, but yeah, so it is what it is. Anyone disappointed with Haaland against Bournemouth? Anyone disappointed? Was it the match of the day stat where he touched the ball 8 or 15 times? I don't know, not many times anyway. Was anyone disappointed with Haaland against Bournemouth? Let me know what you think, guys. I thought he was excellent. I thought a good assist, and I thought his presence unsettled. You look at KDB's goal, the fact that Haaland was in front of him, the 4 defenders didn't know what to do. Go to KDB, stick with Haaland. They didn't know what the hell to do with it. So, any of you guys think Haaland had a bit of a poor game? I expect him to start against Newcastle this week. That's for sure. He can't, Big Morgan. No, he can't. He had one good chance, but you know that one when he skewed it wide in the second half. I think he spotted Alvarez on the touchline and it unsettled him because he knew he was coming off. So I think he perhaps tried a little bit too hard with that one. He skewed. Vicky, I say give Erling a chance. He's still adjusted. Well, this is it, Vicky. That's why I think he'll play against Newcastle as well. I think he'll start against Newcastle. And he's done nothing wrong. And when we played Dortmund, don't forget, guy, he wasn't emphatic against us, was he? That and a lot of people worried now. Is he one of these guys that bullies the rubbishy clubs, but isn't that great against the better clubs? We won't know that, so we play a better club. I don't particularly think Newcastle are. I thought they were lucky. They've got Pope in net, so he'll probably save him. He did very, very well yesterday, watching the highlights of that one. Well, I watched most of it live and caught some of the highlights. But yeah, Haaland will be playing certainly for this first few games because that's what Pep wants to do to get the team used to playing these new tactics as well. That's what he wants to do, I think. You know, and obviously, as I say, Pep's adjusted things. A lot of the players know Pep anyway and probably can adapt, but there's a lot of players who have not been there as long who probably can't adapt. Yeah, only his second game, Big Morgan, absolutely. Blackpool seeing the Bet Victor post, Ryan Giggs and United both to go down this. Is that their official thing, mate? Don't they have a bit of a laugh? I mean, I know it's funny when it's not concerning City. I don't like it when they put. Is it Paddy Power make these jokes up? Don't they? Paddy Power do stuff like that. And when it's against City, I don't like them, but I do like them when it's other teams. But there you go. He did last year, that's what he does. And as I said, he takes defenders. I mean, you can have 4 in a line, and you've got literally 2 or 3 defenders deciding, oh, should we go with Haaland? And it's actually creating more space for KDB. So in the past, where KDB would have been the main guy that opposing teams would look at, obviously you've got Haaland now, so KDB's getting loads more opportunity. He had a fantastic game against Bournemouth. When you go and watch the match at the stadium, you don't sometimes appreciate what players do. And I did my player ratings, guys. I don't know if you checked the show, and I had to alter them. In my talking point show because I watched it back, and it was pretty stunning from most of the guys. It was, and I just didn't see that when I was at the match. I just don't see it. It's really, really weird. And obviously, Haaland, as I said, everyone gained because of playing in those conditions to that quality, which is what they did. And they took a rest when they needed to rest. I mean, my lads said to me, what score? It's 3-0 at half time. I said, well, it's going to be 3-3 like it was in 1989. But then I said, no, I think it's just before a 5. I said, I don't think they'll go mad. I think they'll just play within themselves and just chill and just get on with it. It does, Big Morgan. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't like Big Morgan. I mean, all these 5 subs, I like the fact they can make one at half time without affecting anything. That's fair enough. I do think you've got an opportunity of making 4 subs at separate times, then, which is still a lot. 3 subs, but obviously 1 with 2 players. So I don't like that. And the drinks breaks obviously make the game long. And did they get the timing right? If they're going to have a drinks break, do it officially. I mean, you come back and have 3 minutes extra injury time at half time and stuff like that. Can we trust them to do it correctly? Because I think with City, some games we're going to need that time because we might find it a little bit hard to break certain teams down. Some easier than others, of course. So it could play against us. But so I don't know. What do you guys think about the 5 subs and obviously over three plus you can do an half time one, which makes it 4? Do you think it's a good idea? I know it's all right in this weather with the weather being so warm. Alvarez, when's Alvarez going to get a go, guys? He's not really involved at the moment. He's a bit part player. What do you think? Do you think is he? We've already said that Haaland's probably there for the foreseeable future, so he can get used to everything. What about Alvarez? When we're going to see him? I thought he might have tried him on the wing, start him on the wing, have Alvarez and Haaland playing at one stage. Yeah, Vicky, as I said, I'm okay with it as long as it's done properly. I just worry that it's a matter. Teams can waste time. I know City can waste time sometimes. I wish we'd wasted time when we play Real Madrid. Why we didn't, I have no idea. It still riles me now why we didn't go to the ball, go to the corner flags and stuff like that, feign injury like they did in the second period of extra time. So it really annoys me, Vicky, that I just don't understand it. And this subs thing, if it's 0-0 in a tight game and there's 10 minutes left and they've not brought, they've got 3 opportunities to disrupt play and bring players on. And, you might wait for your opposition to put one on, then a minute later you put yours on it. Yeah, I agree with it in principle. I just worry in key games it might affect us. Big Morgan, I thought that, but I watched him back, mate, and he was better than I thought. He was excellent first half, and I thought he had a really poor second half, but he didn't. He was all right second half, Big Morgan. I mean, I say I get more time to watch it back and analyse it when I watch the replay, and he was better than I think he increased 2 points for me, Big Morgan, on my initial rating. I think he went up 2 points. So, either that I was drunk on the victory or something like that. I was getting all carried away. I'm not too sure. Need the 5 subs and playing games. Yeah, well, that's the elbow. As I say, I just don't like the time waste element of it. That's the only thing that worries me. The fact of, but most of the time, 90% of the time, it won't really affect us because we should be winning games comfortably and they can waste as much time as they want. But as I say, it's just the odd games. But that happens anyway. So, you know, goalkeepers rolling over as though they've been injured and stuff like this. It's just what it is against City. And obviously, because we're such a good team, other teams will take advantage and waste more time. Big Morgan Aki's been my standout the first couple of games in the defence, even the Community Shield. I think take those 3 games, the Community Shield and the first 2. Personally, he's been my best defender, Aki. And at the moment, I think he's top of the centre halves. Of course, we can't put Laporte in yet because he's injured. He's certainly of Diaz and Aki. I think Aki's been far better, and we've certainly not seen anything of Stones. So I wanted Aki to play against Bournemouth, but Stones and Diaz in the middle. I wanted Aki to play on the left. So that Stones could get a game, because I think Stones deserves to get games because he's not getting a game. Alvarez, guys, I did say about Alvarez, and what are you thinking? What's happening with him? Is it a slow one with Alvarez? And you see, he'll be happy enough, won't he, for the time being? Diaz has been error prone. Yeah, he's too deliberate, Big Morgan. Sometimes he was possibly against Bournemouth, I would say, our weakest player, even though there wasn't much to do as defending, obviously, against Bournemouth. But I would say, as far as looking at a player, how he moves, how he passes the ball, how he goes into space, what he does, how he reads the game, yeah, I'd have to agree, guys. Big Morgan said there. You two guys agree that Diaz has been a little bit out of it, not the, you know, and he has been. He was a bit like that last year, but he gets the blocks in. He does the good, you know. He's a big lad, so it does work out most of the time. But yeah, I'm not going to have a downer on him, but I think because we're playing so well, I think he probably was the worst against Bournemouth. Alvarez is a slow burner. I think he is, Big Morgan. I think Alvarez will come good. We've seen little glimpses, haven't we? But I don't think Pep's going to rush him to sort of play every game. And obviously, while you've got Mahrez and Grealish as well, Pep is always going to play one of those guys, certainly on the wing in front of Alvarez. And Alvarez will get a chance as a number 9, of course he will, or a false 9 even. I say Pep's probably got the opportunity now to create 2 or 3, 4 different little systems to befuddle the opposition, shall we say. Oh, yeah, I was there, Vicky. I was just on my way out, and then all the Bournemouth fans started singing about Nathan Aki, so I just turned around and obviously come over to clap them. So that was really good. And why not? He did his best to score against them. It didn't quite come off. I thought he could have done better with that header, that early header where he shouted Diaz because he ducked under it. But I was hoping he'd get that on target. But yeah, that's how it should be, Vicky, innit? I mean, you know, I doubt Sterling will come over and clap us, but he won't. I don't think he'll get booed when he plays against us. But you know, Jesus probably would get clapped, and Zinchenko, of course, will get clapped. But I mean, Sterling's a different kettle of fish, isn't he? Diaz is on 160 a week. What, 160k a week, Big Morgan? At the moment, that would take me, what am I on? Oh, Jesus, 12. Yeah, it'd probably take me about 12 years to earn that. And he can do it in a week. Oh, I feel like crying sometimes, guys, don't you? It's a good job. I love my football team. Otherwise, I'd just say, "Oh, Sodom." It's a good job. It's deeper than that, isn't it? Good job. It's inbred. That's for sure. People are still annoyed about Raz not signing the City shirt. Vicky, well, yeah, he couldn't win in that one, could he? I thought it was a bit churlish. I thought he could have done it, but he's not shown us any love since he's left, has he? So good luck to him. He wasn't improved. He wasn't doing anything for us. He needed the move, and I don't think, according to the guys early on, he's actually pulling up trees at Chelsea at the moment, is he? So I wouldn't mind watching a couple of Chelsea games just to see what he is doing, because I've seen some highlights, but I've not watched Match of the Day 2 yet, so I'll have a watch of that later to see. Aki 92,000. Well, that's a bit more reasonable, Big Morgan. That'd only take me about 8 years. Yeah, but Vicky, I wouldn't. Yeah, Raz is Raz. RAHEEM Sterling never seemed. I mean, he was there long. He was there. I was about 7 seasons. I can't remember now. I did that thing on him, the feature. I can't remember how far back I had to go. It took a long time. So, you know, but to me, he never really seemed to dyed in the wool City boy. You know, he never really thought, and we certainly won't be seeing him in and around the ground, I don't think, in years to come, like we see with some players. I don't think Sterling's ever been that type, which is fair enough. He's a London lad, isn't he? Obviously, he got his, what do you call it, when you're like at Liverpool, you're grounding, isn't it? That's where he started off. So he's going to have an affinity with Liverpool. And I think even though he was with us and he accomplished so much and was superb, but he never felt as though he was one of the boys or would be one of the guys that that would turn up and come back time and time again. And I think that's the thing. And he's still got a lot of career left, of course, hasn't he, Vicky, as well? He's got a lot of time left. It's not as though he's in the last 2 or 3 years of his footballing career. He's got, 6, 7 years at least left. Is he 27, guys? RAHEEM, 27, 28, something like that. So he's got plenty of time left yet. And I think City will be a distant memory. He'll enjoy looking at his medals, but I don't think we'll be top of his Christmas list anyway. That's for sure. Jamaican. I think Raz I think so, Vicky. Yeah, 27-ish, around about that age. I mean, someone said about my memory the other day. I said, I've only got a good memory. I've got all my books in front of me, reference things. I've got a rubbishy memory. I've got a terrible memory. I sort of wing it sometimes and sort of can try and figure things out. Yeah, I just remember Raz being about 27, like you said. So that's sort of from memory. But I said my memory's rubbish at the best of times. LCL Blur appreciated RAHEEM in City, but I'm glad he's gone because he was disrupting the dressing room. He just wasn't doing it, mate. I mean, even let's face it, Pep kept persisting with him when he wasn't great. We know that he was doing that all the time, and then in the end, even Pep realised I can't keep doing this. It's not working. So even Pep realised it was, he became a bit part player. He became a borderline squad player just to a bit every 1 or 2 games or something like that. He wouldn't get any sort of run in the team. A bit like Jesus, who didn't get a big, he was in and out, wasn't he, of the team at times. And Raz, let's face it, Raz was never injured, which is a good thing. I mean, I wish all footballers were like that. He missed Big Morgan, I believe so. I'll watch. Hopefully, it's on Match of the Day. Is it? I'll give Match of the Day a watch. A watch later. Are you guys watching the Liverpool game? I don't think I can be bothered finding the stream, and I've got other things to do. But are you all watching the Liverpool game at 8? Because I'll get off for that, guys. If you're going to be watching that later on, I can't see Palace doing anything against Liverpool. They weren't great at Fulham. And obviously he'll have the pitch well watered, so that'll be all right. But I couldn't face watching Liverpool on the basis that they're probably going to win anyway. I just can't be bothered. Yes, I'm bitter. I just don't like. I stopped watching United because I used to watch United and City, and I used to get so depressed when City lost. And then I used to get even more depressed when United won, when they used to win games in the old days. I mean, at the moment, it's probably a bit more fun watching United, but I still haven't watched them. But, so I don't really watch the opposite. I don't mind watching a game where I can be neutral, like Tottenham-Chelsea. Obviously, there's nothing on it really at the moment. It's not the end of the season where we want Chelsea to get beat or Tottenham to get beat. So I don't mind watching things like that. But if it's a crucial time of the season and you want Chelsea to lose or something like that, I'm a bit hesitant because I get too committed to City, and my old brain can't take, my nervous system can't take worrying about other teams. So I just worry about City, and everything else will take care of itself. I can't be bothered to watch Liverpool, Vicky. No, it's. We know they're going to win. They're just like a metronome, aren't they? It's just automatic. Yeah, I mean, is it good to watch? I don't know. I don't watch Liverpool that much. I mean, they play well against us. They always usually do. Certainly at Anfield, of course. And I'm quite impressed the way, but it's generally, it's full. I mean, I only saw the highlights, but they didn't look that great. LCL Blur, I don't like to watch. Why is that, LCL Blur? Why don't you like to watch Palace? I don't like to listen to the fans. They got on my nerves a bit, but I'm not don't mind watching him. About Vieira, what about Vieira, guys? What has he got long at Palace? Is he a future City manager? What do you think? Yeah, Vicky, it's how it is. You get penalties because you're in the opponent's box a lot, and perhaps we could say the same about City, but obviously we don't seem to. But yeah, well, yeah, but you see, Liverpool fans will say they don't. So it's just opinions, isn't it? And obviously the media, it's like the media saying they're not biased against City. I mean, you get people like Mr. Bukowski saying, no, it's all rubbish. This, it's just, there's no bias against City. We know there's a bloody bias against City. We don't, Simon's a journalist. He's going to stick up for his mates. So yeah, it's just a bit annoying. What about Gundo? Yeah, Gundo being our new captain. He's not signed a new contract yet, has he? In theory, this is his last season, isn't it? I think he's a great guy. From what we've seen off the pitch, obviously he's got himself a lovely young lady. Seems happy in himself. He's playing very well. I've been quite impressed. I've been critical of Gundo in the past, but he's playing very well. He does the simple things well. He's quite capable of doing something special. He can score goal. He's a bit annoying in front of goal. Sometimes he tries to pass it in the goal rather than putting his foot through it, and he doesn't score. And then other times it works. So you can't say too much. But yeah, I'm happy with Gundo as captain. But I thought it's got to be someone who plays most of the time, isn't it? Is Gundogan? Does that mean Bernardo's on his way then, and Gundogan's going to be the main guy? Is that what this is all about? Because Gundogan's already played started two league games, and Bernardo's been on the bench. So is that Pep telling us that Bernardo's definitely on his way and Gundogan's his natural replacement? Is that Big Morgan? Is that Gundo 140 a week? Not what we say last year, Blur. I missed that then. Yeah, I think. Would you say? You wouldn't say. You'd say Diaz, but as we've already said, he's not putting it in game out, is he? I mean, Nathan Aki would probably be a good captain, but that'd be guarantee him his spot, wouldn't it? Laporte. Well, Stones is never going to be captain because Pep don't play him half the time, does he? So that's not going to happen with John Stones. I love John Stones as a captain. It's not a lot, is it, Big Morgan? What do you think he's worth more than that? Would he be paid more than that elsewhere, though? I mean, it's funny, isn't it? It's hard with wages. KDB's the high. Is he still the highest paid one now, or is Haaland took over from him? I know KDB changed his system, didn't he, where it was less performance related and a set amount of money. And I think some of the other players have done that now, where in the past they used to make it on bonuses, didn't they? But obviously people like KDB had it built into his standard salary, I think, stuff like that. Could do with Colin Savage, couldn't we? Stuff like that. But I mean, it's a lot of money, mate, isn't it? But is it, I think it's fair for Gundogan, to be honest, Gundogan, however you call it. I think it's fair enough. Bernardo 150 again. You'd probably pay Bernardo more. But the thing about Bernardo is, and I love him to bits, and I will miss him if he goes. I just think Pep doesn't utilise him properly. I think Pep just. The trouble is, there's no one else can do it. I don't think there's anyone else can pick a ball up in our half and then move it and find players and keep the ball on his toe and not lose it. He's just such a unique player. But I always like to see him playing up further up the pitch. I mean, you just think of that goal against Villa. All right, he doesn't always do them, but he scored loads of goals in the 18-yard box. I want him further up the pitch where he can get chances and try and put the chances away. So I think the only reason why I'd be upset if Bernardo went, but it's not the end of the world, is because I just think Pep doesn't play him in his best position. Thoughts, guys? That's just me. That's great to hear what you think. You lot think, guys, because I'm always willing to go, yeah, you're right, I'm wrong. Because I often am. I mean, Simon Bukowski thinks I'm wrong. He told me I've talked nonsense one week. So there you go. I've not took it to heart, though. It's not bothered me. I love him really. I use his ratings, don't I? So I can't complain too much about it. What's Haaland on there? What was his final thing? What was his wages? I know they added it into his transfer fee. What is he on 400 grand a week? Is he on 300 grand a week? Anyone thoughts on that? Just do another 5 minutes, guys, because I know some of you, I'm getting a bit warm in my top now and want to go and watch that match. I've got some paperwork to do, and then I'll want to watch Match of the Day 2 from last night. 375k, yeah, sounds about right. KDB 400, yeah. I mean, KDB has to be more. Haaland, no doubt, will increase it as and when he's proven himself, and we know he can prove himself. We've seen the elements of that already. We've already talked about that tonight. He's going to do all right. 8 likes, thanks, guys. So there's not many on at the moment, but yeah, there's another couple of these guys, and I'm off for a couple of weeks because I'm going over to Rhodes in Greece on the 4th of September. So I miss Tottenham at home. I think I catch Villa away, and then I miss Tottenham at home. So yeah, I don't mind. It's a bad game to miss, isn't it? I think Tottenham. I always like to beat Tottenham, even though I don't like the fans particularly. I always like. There's a great picture actually. Did any of you guys see it on Twitter of what Tottenham are now? And it was a football, and it was a pigeon sat on a football, as opposed to a cockerel. So I was trying to. If I had time, I would have put Tottenham in the 50s with the cockerel, Tottenham now with a pigeon on a football. That would have been quite funny. No, we'll beat them this year, Big Morgan. We've got to beat Spurs. Right, Newcastle, guys, quickly before I go, what do you think? Are we going to turn? They looked pretty crap yesterday, apart from the goalkeeper, who did, if he has a worldie, we might be in trouble. But what do you think about Newcastle? They've not bought anyone, have they? They've not bought anyone of note apart from the keeper. Where's all this big money spend? Have they realised it's not that easy? Newcastle. Quick word on Newcastle, guys, before we go. I'm thinking 2 or 3-0 against Newcastle on Sunday. Is it Sunday? Sunday 4:30. Where's that photo? It was on Twitter. If you go on, I think I retweeted it, Big Morgan. I'm sure I did. I'll try and find it. It's just quite funny. Hopefully we'll beat. Well, hopefully, Vicky. I mean, hopefully, Vicky. We've got to beat Newcastle. Come on, they bought 3 players. I've never heard of 2 of them. I have no idea. So they're not exactly strengthened from last season. Did you watch the match they played yesterday? They were absolute garbage against Brighton. Tore them apart. They were absolutely rubbish. 3-0. That'll do, Vicky. That's better. That's a bit more positive. Neymar's joining to the what this chat. It's too late, mate. I'm finishing in a minute. It's no good. No time for Neymar. I'll check your twit. I read that. Then I'll check your twit. They didn't ask me if I wanted to allow that or not. If I remember, Big Morris, I've got a few things to do when I come off this thing. I'll try and dig it up, and I'll DM you with it or whatever. To say it's, I'm sure I put it on my. I'm sure I might have put it on my phone. I can't remember. The trouble is, once I retweet something, I don't put it on my phone. It gets lost in the morass of stuff. Obviously, joining you, I'll check your. He's big. Neymar's joining Newcastle tonight. Well, the last rumour I heard was a Jack Harrison from Leeds, and I don't rate him anyway. So that's the last thing I heard. Neymar's not going to Newcastle. Behave yourself. It's too bloody cold for him come October. It's a bloody nightmare up there. So what's your score for Newcastle, Big Morgan? We've had Vicky's. Vicky's given me hers. Anybody? Laciel Bleu, you still there? What's your score? Newcastle, City, Newcastle. I'll be brave. I'll go 3-0. As I say, we should be able to. I know they've done the dirty on us a couple of times, haven't they? And Dwight Gale's left, hasn't he? I'll miss his handsome face playing for Newcastle. Mappy sold him. City 3-1. Right, 3-1 will do. I'm not going to keep a clean sheet, mate. I mean, that's no good, is it, against Newcastle? We've got to do better than that. Right, guys, I'm going to shoot off. My love and thanks to you all. 4-0 Lassiel Blue, that'll do for me. 3-0, 4-0, 3-1 because Big Morgan's a miserable bugger. Vicky said 3-0, I think, as well. So there you go, guys. Thank you, Lassiel Blue, Vicky, Big Morgan. Who else have we had on tonight? Blackpool, you still there? I've not heard from Blackpool. He's probably gone to watch Liverpool and hopefully get beat. Anyway, thanks, guys. Much appreciated as ever. Hope you enjoyed it. Be back next week to talk the Newcastle game, of course, and then look forward to the one after that. Palace? Is it Palace or is it Forest? Might be Palace, might be Crystal Palace. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Come on, Palace, do us a favour tonight. Come on, let's get everyone beat. Thanks for joining. See you, Vicky. See you, Big Morgan. See you. Everybody else, Lassiel Blue and Blackpool Blu-ray, just to name a few. Thanks, guys. I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.